Welcome back to the Nameless College Football Show, where we don't have a name or graphics or anything fancy really, but we do have the most entertaining analysis probably in the world.
Definitely.
I'm your host, Brandon, joined as always by my co-host, Captain Petey. Petey, how are you doing?
A little sweaty and stinky. Just got off the boat.
Nice.
So that's appropriate.
Yeah, he's not just Captain Petey by name. He lives this nautical lifestyle. So I thought we would change things up this week. We have leaned somewhat negative to start the season, as we tend to do at times, talking about people getting fired, playing terribly. Let's talk about the exciting matchups we had last week. We're going to go through, and then we're going to figure out which result was the most surprising, the most exciting, and the most important for the playoff picture. Starting first with something that really brought a smile to both of us. Georgia Tech, as we predicted, beat Clemson 24-21. Petey, how much did you enjoy this game?
If
people can't see your smile.
Yes. That was probably the only game I watched the entire thing. Like all the other games, I kind of got caught here and there, but like that was the one I watched the entire game, and
I bet you were at full mast.
pitching a tit in the living room as well. It seemed like. For a while there, Clemson was going to come back and just destroy all of our hopes. But that kicker for Georgia Tech is just solid. I mean, kickers love to disappoint us. Because
yes.
We're a college kicker. And this kid was not one. He's going to be on the next level one day.
Yeah, just way to go, guy whose name I haven't committed to memory yet, but you keep beating Clemson, and I will.
Yeah.
But no, like you said, the ACC always does this to us against Clemson, where they'll make us think it's going to happen, and then they don't. New Spring Church calls up Jesus, and Clemson pulls it off. So I was fully expecting that, because it felt like Georgia Tech just could not put them away. Like they were on the verge of possibly blowing them out, and they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, it was 13
but I will say,
nothing at one point, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like, what is it? Clemson came back and it was like 13-14. And then Georgia Tech went down and got a touchdown and had to go for two. They got it, which is something that never happens in my opinion.
Correct.
Or my recent memory. But just... They and then Clemson comes back, ties it up, and then left Georgia Tech with 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes or something like that to go down and score.
3.5, I believe. 3.5. Yeah. Aiden Burr, the kicker, 55-yard field goal. Aiden Burr. Respect to Aiden Burr.
Yes. Yeah, and then didn't Georgia Tech get a false start or something before the field goal?
They got
farther.
I'm not seeing that on the play-by-play. All I see is Haynes King being a dog, which is in my notes.
Yeah.
Because he was a dog in the best way. 211 yards passing, no touchdowns, but 103 yards on the ground and a touchdown. I don't know if he cares about his body.
No, he doesn't, and that's fine.
It doesn't appear that he does.
So,
yes.
Yeah, he took out the supposed, who everybody thought was supposed to be the ACC champion and playoff team this year, who, if we have seen them in the recent years, they get overhyped to start the year typically, and don't look as great, but they also play crap teams out of the ACC 99% of the time. So, when their offense struggles, and Cade Klubnik's supposed to be a Heisman quarterback, they said, obviously the people that are thinking these things about Klubnik and Manning, and like when they really get to play, they're not really watching these games, I don't think.
This is what's confusing to me because, yeah, Arch Manning, whew, that was tough to see. That's been tough the whole season. But also Klubnik, like going back, we've seen a ton of Cade Klubnik. And, yeah, he'll beat up on a small school. But against actual defenses, he looks awful. But still, Heisman candidate Cade Klubnik. Well, what are we doing?
I feel like the Heisman candidate, it's got to be just because he's got players around him, and because that it's Clemson, they've won national championships somewhat recently, and they play in the ACC, so he should look good against terrible opponents that they play every week. But guess what? Georgia Tech is here. They are here to play. They found a defense, and they quit running the triple option and figured out how to play football in the 21st century.
Way to go. I will say the only nice thing I can say about Clemson, more of a fact than a nice thing, is Bryant Wesco Jr., wide receiver for Clemson, really good wide receiver for a couple seasons.
Yeah.
They haven't really had those great receivers like they did in the past. He looks good to the point that even Cade Klubnik can complete a pass to him. That's the only good thing. Clemson, you're dead. We'll find out if this is the most surprising, most exciting, or most important for the playoff picture game after we discuss two more games. You talked about college kickers. As much as everything has changed in college football, the constant is the inconsistent college kicker.
Yeah.
That reared its ugly head in the Georgia-Tennessee game. Tennessee looked like they were going to run away with it. Georgia won 44-41 in overtime. End of regulation, Tennessee had a chance to win it. Their kicker, Max Gilbert, there's pictures of his face all over the internet now. Looked like he had diarrhea. I think it was a 43-yard attempt at the end of regulation. It wasn't even close. I think he slipped on his own diarrhea and missed it. How much of this game did you get to watch? Because this was incredible.
I think I kind of missed like the middle part of it because I can't remember what I was watching, something else maybe, or I missed I missed most of the second half because I had to go do boat stuff. And
he's a captain.
Yeah, but I saw Georgia was down 21-7. They both teams came out and went straight down the field, scored, and then Georgia started kind of fumbling over themselves and couldn't really get anything going. But Tennessee just looked like they were firing on all pistons as far as offense goes. And from what I saw, they just in the second half, basically they were going to unleash Gunnar Stockton. They were going to have to let him make plays down the field. Which a lot of first year starting quarterbacks we've seen this year, they kind of baby them the first few games. They don't want them to make any mistakes and kill their ego. But yeah, I mean they made plays down the field. They won the game. And Tennessee just was not going to be able to stop them. Which I was concerned. The start of the year off, Tennessee's defense was the question. We thought they would be. I mean, obviously, with Nico leaving, we didn't know what the quarterback situation would be, but obviously Aguilar is fantastic.
He's good,
that system. And defensively, we didn't know what we would get. They have done enough on offense to be able to win games, and just not enough on defense to stop Gunnar Stockton and Georgia.
Yeah, I think it got to a point where Kirby probably didn't want to unleash Gunnar Stockton just yet, but when you're down 21-7, what is there to lose? And I have been very skeptical about the Gunnar Stockton experience, but he was really good, and that's why they won the game. And I still can't really believe they won the game because of how good Tennessee looked at times. I know they had a lot of penalties, I think, and the kid Chris Brazzell, the wide receiver, I thought he was doing the Jalen Hyatt against Bama game where he was just making spectacular play after spectacular play. 3 touchdowns, I think 177 yards receiving. incredible. And now we don't really get to care about it because they lost, and that's just how it goes.
I mean, as a receiver, you're a good game is if you like a really good game if like you break 100 yards.
Yep.
Yeah. And
You score a single touchdown. Way to go.
Right,
3
yeah.
touchdowns, 177 yards. It's like 30 yards a catch, 6 receptions. Just, it seemed unstoppable.
Yeah.
But then it just kind of fell apart at the end offensively at the worst time. And
they still should have won the game. Like they drove the field, got in
makeable kick.
very makeable field goal range, and Gilbert just goes, nah.
Like I don't understand. Yeah, 14 play drive. So this is where I started getting a little. I get iffy with the college kicker thing because it did feel like a bit that Tennessee was kind of playing for the field goal, and I don't think you ever do that. No. And of course, they did have the false start right before the field goal that pushed it from 38 yards to 43. But that kick did not look like it was going to be good from 20 yards. Like he just completely pooped the bed.
No, it was wide right, like
immediately off his foot.
Yeah. Like I never want to put a game in a kicker's hands or feet unless I absolutely have to. With Georgia Tech, I mean, obviously you had to. But I mean, that kicker can nail it from I think he was warming up at like 60 yards or something like that.
Yeah. This kid just.
Yeah. I mean, Tennessee should have done everything they could to get into the end zone.
Yeah. Especially with, like we said, the offense slowed down a bit. But
it wasn't stagnant. It wasn't like they were doing nothing.
No. It was mostly, based on my feel for it, just like if you could avoid penalties, you were going to score a touchdown if you were Tennessee. And when you didn't avoid penalties, then you would not score touchdowns. So that's not really an execution problem. Well, penalties are an execution problem. It's not like you're completing passes, you're running the ball. Just keep doing that. But that was just a brutal loss to do that at home. They kept showing Aguilar's mom, I'm pretty sure, in the crowd and everything. I think they were showing her right before the field goal kick, which is always like something bad is about to happen.
Well, they also had plenty of time to get in the end zone. I'm pretty sure they had a minute and a half left. The drive itself was long, like 14 plays, 2.5 minutes. Okay.
And just trying to run the clock down and kick a field goal to win it. And I just don't think you do that in college football. In the NFL, yes, go for it. In college football, no. Especially with overtime is so weird in college football that I just don't trust it. So he did kick a field goal in overtime, a 42-yard one, and made it. But at that point, didn't matter because then Georgia just had to score a touchdown, and they did pretty easily.
Yeah.
So, but an awesome game to watch, especially if you don't really care who wins. Those are my favorite, and we'll talk about a game we cared about later, and we'll cry. But we still have one more exciting game. Texas A&M, Notre Dame. A&M won 41-40. I guess A&M is here, or maybe Notre Dame is not. I'm not really sure how to feel. And it was a weird game because when I think Notre Dame, I think defense, and that wasn't really the case. That was the most points Notre Dame has allowed since losing to Michigan in 2019. What did you think about that very fun game to watch?
Obviously, Notre Dame's defense is not very good. Just from this, they're not like elite like they were last year.
Yeah.
And if you watch, Texas A&M, they don't really want to throw the ball.
No.
But they got Reed going, doing really well. He didn't his stats weren't obviously fantastic, right? I think he was 100. I think he was below 50% on passing completion, right? And
17 out of 37. Did have a ton of yards. A lot of that was Mario Craver. The receiver had 207 yards receiving.
Yeah.
He's really
like A&M does not want to really press you down the field. They should. I mean, with the receivers and what they've got, with Concepcion, they're good.
Yep.
I think they are trying to do more of that this year, but they traditionally want to just run it down your throat. But their defense couldn't really stop Notre Dame's offense that well. I think Notre Dame's offense is actually better than it was last year, and just their defense is much worse than it was last year.
Yeah, because you mentioned running the ball for A&M. So Le'Veon Moss ran for 3 touchdowns, 80 yards. You're right. Elko doesn't quite seem to trust Reed a ton yet, and I'm not sure if that's wrong. I think that with his accuracy issues, probably a safe bet. He did throw an interception too. But yeah, the Notre Dame offense looks more modern. Freshman quarterback or first-time starter, I can't remember if he's a true freshman or not, but C.J. Carr, he makes some young person mistakes. I know they fumbled the ball on a snap because he was mad at the play clock running out. And so he clapped his hands out of anger, which is the signal to snap the ball. The center snaps the ball because he hears the clap.
Yeah.
But no one was there to get the snap because he was walking off the field. And that's just one of those things that's tough. And the big play, I don't know. So Notre Dame would have made it to overtime. Did you watch the end of the game?
I saw highlights. I didn't see it.
So Notre Dame scored to make it 40-34.
Yeah.
Lining up for the extra point, the kid Tyler Buckner, who has been at Notre Dame, he's been at Bama, and he's back at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Dropped the snap, and then he had a guy open for the 2-point conversion, and he just it looked like he threw it with his wrong hand.
Oh.
And so all A&M needed to do was obviously make their extra point, and they did, and so they won the game. And the whole drive, how long was the drive for? So the whole 2 minutes and 40-second drive at the end of the game for A&M, anytime they have a chance, they show Tyler Buckner on the sideline. It was so tough.
But why'd they go for 2? Why not just kick the extra point?
Why did
Notre Dame?
Why did Notre Dame go for 2? Notre Dame went for 2 because he dropped the snap. So it was
okay, gotcha. It wasn't.
He threw it in the end zone because he did pick it up.
Yeah.
But and it should have been a 2-point conversion because he had him wide open. And it's not he's not a good quarterback. We can go through. He started for Saban at Bama that one game. I think it was a terrible game against USF where they barely won in 2023. He was 8 for 19 for 61 yards. And that's pretty much how his time as Notre Dame's quarterback went when he was playing there before. The throw was so terrible. It was such a terrible throw. And they just kept showing him over and over again. And I was like, this is brutal. But you can't. Your job is, I guess his job is holder, not catch the snapper. So I guess we can't fault him entirely. But you should catch the snap.
As a holder, that's half the job is catching the ball.
You can't do the holding if you don't do the catching first.
Yeah.
And the snap was fine. It was a perfectly fine snap. He just dropped it. And kind of like Tony Romo did that year in the playoffs for the Cowboys, where just all you got to do is catch the snap and put it down. Yeah. And he didn't do it. And then he threw it right into the dirt. And I was like, oh my gosh. And they just cut to Marcus Freeman looks sick. And they just kept cutting to him. And you knew if you make a mistake that big, you know the other team is about to make you pay for it. You just can feel it.
Exactly.
And so that's what they did.
You basically you've already defeated the defense by doing that to them, putting them in that situation.
So that was a tough one. Really tough loss for Notre Dame, but a great win on the flip side for A&M. So we'll talk about one more game. Not a top 25 matchup, but a funny one nonetheless. Florida LSU. What is there to say about Florida LSU that hasn't been said about the stomach flu?
How in the world is LSU ranked number 3? Like the huge indictment of the AP poll here.
Yeah.
They have struggled on offense the entire year.
Be careful. Brian Kelly might be listening.
Oh, right. And he blows his top off at this. Reporter comes in to say, "What's wrong with the offense?" He's like, "That's going to be your first question. We won the game. We played to win the game. Obviously, you play to win the game, but
Yeah, it goes up there.
you just went out there, did enough on defense to let Florida fuck themselves. Is what happens. That's the entire. That was their. I can't believe that was their game plan. Obviously, it wasn't. I'm just saying, like, you can't come out to the reporter afterwards and be like, "We won the game. What do you want from us?"
Yeah, one offensive touchdown. Really weird for Brian Kelly to get mad. Normally, he's so even keeled.
Yeah, he's a regular Will Muschamp.
Yeah, five interceptions for DJ Lagway. I think they have a problem over there at Florida.
At what point do you pull him?
I don't know. They were just letting him just keep on slinging it. LSU, neither team scored in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
It was just it was a terrible game to watch. So that's not going to be the most exciting game of these matchups. Spoiler alert, that's not going to be it. Which one was the most exciting to you?
So I mean, it's hard to say, like, either Tennessee and Georgia or Notre Dame A&M. I think, Notre Dame seemed to was in control of that game the entire time. Basically, they just could never pull away. But it's hard to say. Can you hear that? Sorry, it's the
Oslo. It's the dog.
Yeah, the dog is.
That's okay.
Chewing on.
We like pet cameos.
Yeah. He's got his deer antler and dragging it around and chewing on it.
So, yeah, that's kind of. I don't know how to even make a transition for that. It's funny, and I appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, this is what happens. But yeah, Notre Dame, they just had, like, the second quarter for Notre Dame was a bad quarter. But other than that, they dominated the game.
You're right. I mean, same deal kind of for Tennessee. So it's. I would say it was. Notre Dame had their F up on the extra point, and then Tennessee had their F up on the field goal. So it's they're tied basically. I think it's I don't know how you pick one over the other. Other than you saw Gunnar Stockton come out and, like, make a statement about who he is as a player.
I think the most exciting one was the A&M one, simply because I feel like it's more rare to see a hold messed up than a field goal in college, or really at any level like that. And just the way that you could like I said, you could just feel that A&M was just about to come down and score and win the game after that happened. And I don't know, in this made up world of momentum, if they would have come down and scored a touchdown, if they needed a touchdown to tie the game, I think that would have been way more deflating than knowing, a touchdown wins it.
Right.
That's my weird college football psychoanalysis that really is based on no science whatsoever. But that's what you get when you come here to the Nameless College Football Show. All right. Which of these games was the most surprising to you? In terms of result,
A&M. I really thought that Notre Dame was going to win that game. In theory, Notre Dame should have, probably.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I was not expecting A&M to be able to throw the ball as well as they did. Even though it wasn't exactly impressive as far as numbers go, but it's still better than what I was expecting.
Yeah, that was. I think I agree. That was surprising, especially in that you. I don't know if you expect Notre Dame to be 0-2 after 2 games to start the season.
Correct.
That's pretty surprising, which kind of leads us into our next and final question. Which one of these games was the most important for the playoff picture, either good or bad?
I think it's probably Notre Dame because they're an independent. They don't have. I don't know. I don't have the rest of their schedule in front of me, but they can't afford to lose another game this year.
That's true.
But if Clemson could still go win out the ACC, get to it and get into the playoffs, and then Tennessee and Georgia can still get into the playoffs as well. I mean, but right now with Notre Dame not having an automatic qualifying game because they're not in a conference, losing 2 games puts them at a. I mean, if they could still probably lose one more game, but if it's a quality loss. But they got to go out and beat somebody good.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go with the Clemson game just out of hope. Like, I hope this means we don't have to deal with Clemson. That's 2 losses. They're 1-2. One of those is a conference loss. They still have Florida State on the schedule.
I was about to ask if they played them.
I'm going to be real. That's really probably the only hard game.
Yeah.
But they got Florida State. They do get Florida State at home.
They have Louisville, maybe?
Yeah, Louisville on the road. I think that could be tough.
Louisville seems to give them struggles a lot of the time, but I don't think Louisville's as good this year as they were last year. But yeah, it's still Louisville. So I mean, decent ACC team, but they're going to play a lot of teams that are not.
Yes. So
FSU is going to be the hardest opponent.
Yeah, and I'm still not sure what FSU is, but I do know we got one of these teams has to step up and finish the job. And so I'm hopeful that one of them will. So I will say that one is the most important for the playoff picture. Moving on to this week's games, hopefully we get as much excitement as we just got last week. Actually, before we get to this week's games, we do have an update on our hot seat tracker for coaches that we talked about. Brent Pry, Deshaun Foster, you're gone.
Yep. I can't say that I'm surprised that with the Pry firing because I mean he was 0-3, right? To start the season.
Yeah, and like really pathetic 0-3.
Yeah, you got just hammered. After having expectations on that team for the last 3 years and just come out and go 0-3 when it mattered the most to save your job, you couldn't win a single game.
Yeah, tough. Especially getting blown out at home against Old Dominion. Tough. Deshaun Foster, the players seem to really like him, but they were pretty bad. So
yeah, I don't care I don't care. Honestly, I don't care.
Well, we're going to talk about that in a bit if you care about who is likable versus not likable.
Right.
We're going to have a whole 1.5 hours on that. But this week, the matchups, we have a handful of top 25 matchups, thankfully. Week 2 still has me scarred. The first one, Texas Tech, Utah. Are you excited about this game, Captain Petey? Number 17, Texas Tech. Number 16, Utah.
I think it'll be a good game. Where is it? Texas Tech or Utah?
It is in Utah.
I think, I haven't seen either one of them play like a real quality opponent yet.
That is true.
Because there's none in the Big 12.
That's true.
But, Texas Tech has a lot more pressure on them to be good this year. After they've gone and got 78 players out of the portal, they've shown that they can play. Utah has, Utah is a good team. Neither one of them. It's hard for me to say who's better.
Yeah, Utah was really bad last year. Well, they were 5-7 last year, which is
that's unlike a Utah team, though.
Yeah,
that was last year was probably just the anomaly.
Yeah,
Texas Tech had been kind of bad for a while.
Yeah, so I think it is a 3.5-point spread currently in favor of Utah. That quarterback Morton for Texas Tech, he's really good, but he's also like he'll get weird injuries, which is kind of funny because that was kind of the case for Cam Rising at Utah until he started getting very serious injuries, and that was why they were really bad last year. But now they moved on to Dampier from New Mexico. He had 19 rushing touchdowns at New Mexico last year as a quarterback, which is crazy. And I think of Big 12 football as like high-level high school football in terms of excitement and playing style. It kind of reminds you like, oh, we're watching Friday Night Lights.
There's not a lot of defense in the Big 12.
No. And we appreciate them for it, I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, this is probably going to happen regardless at some point, but the Big Ten and the SEC is just going to become the two power conferences, and then everything, and then it's just going to be everything else. Because the ACC and the Big 12 are just a smidgen better than the Group of Five.
Yes.
Or, that's a different topic, honestly. So, but yeah, I have a hard time going against Utah at home, though.
Yeah, I think they're good there. I think they win it, and I am excited for this game.
Yeah.
Are we excited for number 22 Auburn at number 11 Oklahoma? Oklahoma favored by 6.5 currently.
I think that spread is accurate. I haven't seen much. Auburn hasn't played much.
They've played nobody.
Opponents. I think they've played.
They opened up against Baylor and beat Baylor pretty easily.
Yeah, but we don't know what Baylor is, and they're a Big 12 team. But then I think they went to the wire with Baylor too, right? Didn't they win like 4 points or something like that?
They won by 14. It was closer than it felt. There was some refereeing issues. If we listened to Baylor fans, and then they had a closer game than I thought against South Alabama last week. They won 31-15. Yeah, but that game was pretty much over by halftime. I think it was. No, actually, it was close. It was 28-9 at halftime.
Yeah, the thing is that I don't know what is Hugh Freeze's problem at Auburn. He has turned around every program he's been at pretty rapidly until he got to Auburn. It's almost as if when cheating becomes legal, you can't. It's hard to get the edge when what you're doing is what everybody else is doing. But they've got, they have recruited well in the 3 years he's been there, so there's high expectations on them. But they had those same expectations last year, and
yeah. So, I'm not excited about this game because Mateer hasn't been great for Oklahoma. He's thrown an interception in every game, and he was this super hype transfer. Hasn't really happened yet. Starting quarterback for Auburn, Jackson Arnold. Okay. So I guess the big storyline is Jackson Arnold going back to Oklahoma to play against his old school. But he kind of stinks too, it seems. So.
Yeah. Oklahoma's going to have a good defense. And I don't know what we're going to get out of Auburn. We haven't really. The problem, we haven't. You're in this far into the season. You haven't played anybody yet. It's almost like still playing like week one. We're just guessing at this point.
Yeah. So, you know what? Watch that game and see if you can figure anything out. That's what I can say about that matchup. the last matchup. Number 9, Illinois at number 19, Indiana. This is who's a fraud, I think is the theme for this game. 5.5 point spread in favor of Indiana. So instead of is this game going to be exciting, just tell us who you think the fraud out of these two is. Possibly both.
Yeah, it's got to be both.
One of them just to hold on for a little bit longer.
We'll give Indiana an edge because I think Sagnetti is actually a good coach.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bielema is. I think he's a fat turd. I don't know how he.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah, that's what the doctor said.
I think that's accurate. I don't even know.
Especially after our bowl game with him last year. You just
that was so stupid. Yeah. I agree. He's a fat turd.
I don't think either one of them deserve to be ranked. I think they're playing the Big Ten, the garbage level of the Big Ten, and they're going to continue to coast through the season until they actually have to play somebody with any kind of steam. I think they'll eventually have to play. I think Indiana, the only team they'll have to play is like Penn State at some point. Illinois, I think maybe plays Penn State and Oregon at some point.
Indiana they play at Oregon this year and at Penn State. So, I mean, good luck to them. And then Illinois, they play Southern Cal next week, depending on how you feel about them.
I mean, Cal's ranked for the first time in a decade, I think. But I think the AP poll they're just putting people in that just have won games. It's not even who they've beaten.
Yeah, and they do play Ohio State too down the road. So we'll find something like this. This is not going to last forever. So one team gets to enjoy it. Yeah. One team gets one more week. Both the quarterbacks, Altmaier for Illinois and Mendoza for Indiana, have put up great numbers because, again, haven't played anybody. Indiana's offense is more fun to watch.
Yeah.
We'll see. But one team gets to keep on scamming. And so I am excited about that. I will say. I enjoy a good little scam. So I don't know. What is that noise? Do you hear that noise?
I think it's the dog.
Oh, shit. Oh, man. The boat must be rocking because it is time for the Gamecock Football Captain's Log, brought to you by Morris Island Charters and their very competent, capable, handsome, rugged, college football knowing Captain Petey. Captain Petey, do we have a segment this week, buddy? Oh, at home against Vanderbilt, South Carolina, then ranked number 11, was run off the field 31-7. Absolutely disgusting game. I don't even know where to start, so I'm just gonna hand it over to you, and just take us to shore. That is correct.
Other than the first drive, which we've had two good drives the entire year, and they were the first one of the Virginia Tech game, the first one of this game. I am so frustrated with our offense, and so are the boys because they are wrestling in front of me right now.
You know, when the dogs get to wrestling, then the offense is being terrible.
I don't know what to say because it's just bad, all of it bad. We can't block for shit. We and then Sellers gets hurt, and then just the team just completely falls apart. We come out in the second half, and defensively, DQ Smith can't even pretend to try and tackle anybody. And I'm losing it. Like, that's just embarrassing It was awful effort, just bad effort. I don't know what to say.
Yes.
I can't. There's nothing salvageable about this game. Like, what are you going to go and watch film on this? This is not something you want to watch film of, and you're coming with anything other than get rid of Shula.
Yeah, the DQ Smith thing we've been on since 2023. One of the reasons we made this a national show is because at times, every week, we just had the same things to say about Gamecock football because that's just the nature of Gamecock football. DQ Smith, the Florida game where they made Graham Mertz look like
An all-star.
a Heisman Trophy winner. Ever since then, and you try to give him the benefit of the doubt and like, you know, maybe it's the scheme, maybe it's this, maybe it's whatever. But when one guy constantly looks more lost than everyone else, and everyone looks lost, but you look the most lost of anybody ever, and you've been doing it season after season, game after game, what are we supposed to do?
Like, it wasn't even like, I'm calling out DQ Smith just because I've never seen anyone not even try to tackle.
Yeah.
He would run up and do a little whoops, he got by me. Like, not even put an arm out and just gonna, like, it was. And then I don't know who they had the first play. They had the run up the sideline. He comes over and hits the guy with his shoulder. Doesn't even attempt to wrap him up.
Yeah.
It just bounces off him, and then luckily somebody else got him. But then that was so disgusting to watch defensively, and it was irredeemable. I don't like, if you don't want to play defense, don't be out there.
Yeah, especially for as experienced as he is now, for this to still be the case and this to be the effort, and in coverage, he's just as bad, facing the wrong direction and everything.
Hey, hang on. Sorry. They're going to knock all my stuff over.
Okay, I'm going to rant about DQ Smith while PD saves. We see, talking about DQ Smith has triggered the dogs in such a manner that they can't even contain their anger. And I'm much the same way. Because even in coverage, he's facing the wrong way. He's not making the play on the ball. Run game, he offers nothing. And it's not like he's the only player who's terrible. They all have been playing poorly. But he is the most noticeable one, and he's been doing it forever. And it's time to stop with DQ Smith.
I feel like he should have graduated like 4 years ago. I feel like I've been complaining about him since
he's been terrorizing us. Yes. Yeah. It sure feels like that. And so, yeah, then Sellers gets hurt. And that was kind of the talking point for Beamer post-game, as though things would have been different. But we looked bad offensively after the first drive with Sellers in there. And like you said, we've looked bad offensively all but 2 drives pretty much the whole season. So I kind of felt like just, here's an excuse. There you go.
Yeah.
And I just don't know where you even start with the criticism.
Like, there's always an excuse offensively.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's been for years. At this point, we have whiffed offensively the entire time that Beamer has been there. We've gotten talent, but we're not able to get them on the same page and get them working like they know what they're doing, like a cohesive unit. And then, you know, they were I can't remember what. If I see another fucking center have a false start, I'm gonna run down the field and kick him in the head myself. I can't believe, like, you're holding the fucking ball, Howard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty, like, you're in charge of it.
Yeah.
It's just so stupid. I don't know what it's going to take to shake up the coaching staff. Well, we know it's going to take someone else hiring the coaching staff away.
Right. Well, I mean, for the offensive line to come out and complain about it being too loud that they can't get the play, that is football. Like,
yes.
How are we this inept? We can't even get the offensive line the play call.
There's so many ways to communicate play calls too. I feel like there's, I don't understand how that's the case, and
I mean,
why you would. Don't say that out loud.
right. But it actually it kind of makes sense when the only drive that works is the one that's scripted.
Yeah, yeah,
You know them all ahead of time.
yeah.
If that's
a great.
let's
point.
just run the same plays over and over again, like the same 5 all in a row. I don't care what's going on. The same 5 plays. Just keep doing that. That way, you don't have to worry about remembering or getting the play call.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even know how we expect to be taken seriously when you do this to the fans who, like, I don't know why we keep showing up as fans. That's a testament to how great the fans are. But
Yeah.
like looking at it on TV, it looked incredible. Just like the home opener against South Carolina State, it looked incredible. Just like in Atlanta against Virginia Tech, it looked incredible. And then you come out and you basically lay an egg, and then we're counting on, like, oh, well, you know, maybe Vakari Swain can return another punt for a touchdown. Like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You need to have an offense. And bringing in Luke Doty after Sellers got hurt.
I don't know who
Luke
the other
Doty-
option would have been, but I mean, Doty did not look like an answer to our prayers at all.
Great kid by all accounts.
Yeah, I love him to
And-
death, but he's been there for 18 years. He's got 4 doctorates, but he's just not. He was not ready to play on that level.
No. And every time he's coming to play quarterback, that's pretty much how it's gone. So Luke Doty is what he is. If we don't have a second option, I know we got Aaron Nolan from Ohio State. He must not be any good. And I know it's hard to keep a backup now with the transfer portal and everyone leaving, but Luke Doty, and that's what Beamer has said moving forward, playing Missouri this week, that if Sellers can't go, Doty's going to be the starter. Well, that's a problem, I would say.
It's an issue, especially since the team just got completely deflated after Settlers went out. They just lost all hope.
Yeah, they gave up.
Yeah, and that's just what happened. But the lack of effort really just grinds my gears. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, you can control that.
Yeah,
You can't control refs and all this stuff. And to me, if Beamer is like Mr. Rah-Rah motivator guy, then is he really, if he can't get his guys to keep playing for a backup quarterback?
but it also says that our offense is so broken that typically, like, you can lean on other guys.
Yeah.
You can't just have one guy go out who was the entire offense and just implode. Like, it means that really the no one knows what's going on offense other than Sellers, basically.
And that's pretty much been the case during
entire year.
Yeah, and during Beamer's time, I would say too.
Yeah.
We would live and die by Sellers last year, by Rattler the year before that. Like, the offenses always look terrible, and we keep hiring failed NFL coaches, coordinators to run the offense, and then we're shocked that the offense looks bad. I don't understand. No one we've hired has a track record of success.
Here's a question: do we pray that Virginia Tech reaches out to Shane and steals him away?
We're getting close to praying for that because
I honestly have not seen much out of Beamer. I mean, honestly, he was better than Napier, but
yeah, thank
I've
goodness.
not seen much out of Beamer to make me think that he's going to get us going in the right direction. What I would like to see is him go to Virginia Tech, and then we steal Cignetti away from Indiana.
That would be incredible.
I would bet we have an offense then.
That's all I want. we can still lose. We can go
Look, we're going to lose. That's
6
where
and
Gamecock,
7.
we're going to lose.
Yeah, I'm okay with that, but I want it to be exciting. I want to watch the team move down the field and fun stuff like that, the way football is supposed to be played.
Competency.
Yeah. Yes. Not look like a bunch of jackasses. False starting, the center false starting, and like it never looks like anyone's on the same page. It's just ridiculous. I just want to look like we halfway know what we're doing and beat Clemson at the end of the year. That's all I want. Like, I don't even care about the SEC championship.
Look, that's never going to happen. We're never getting to the SEC championship. But we can beat Clemson.
We can beat Clemson, and we can look confident on offense. And those are the two things I want. And so we'll see. So now we have to talk about the Missouri game, 7 o'clock, ESPN. Where are the Dolphins placing their entertainment purposes? Missouri is favored by 11.5 at the moment.
7.5?
11.5.
Oh, 11.5. Yeah, Missouri. They're hitting up Missouri big time. It's at Missouri too, right?
Yeah, at Missouri.
That's
Missouri.
that's. I mean, put all of your purposes on Missouri to win that game. Missouri has looked good. They haven't played much competition. They beat Kansas. Kansas is probably not awesome, but their quarterback looks good. So they're going to put up some points.
Yeah, I would agree with the Dolphins, especially since we don't have an answer, again, on Sellers. I kind of feel like he's probably not going to play just the way that Beamer's press conferences have gone.
Yeah, if he's got a concussion, like a week is kind of like the minimum, I think.
Yeah, and he was saying that it's his policy that if a guy doesn't practice Tuesday and Wednesday, he's not going to play. I mean, clearly you make exceptions for some people, but it kind of sounds like he's preparing everybody for no Sellers. And then we're going to have a lot of fun because Missouri, Kentucky the 27th. After that, LSU at LSU, Oklahoma, Bama, Ole Miss, A&M at A&M. That will be the next 5 games.
It's going to be a gauntlet.
Woo. Wow. So we could really be, we could be 2-2 after this week, 3-2 against Kentucky maybe.
Best chance to win, I think.
And then 3-7 by the time we play Coastal, if we can't figure something out.
Yeah. And we're going to be lucky to beat Kentucky. It's not like that's a gimme.
Yeah, that one's going to be tough. We're currently, ESPN Analytics has us slightly favored, but
that's probably just because it's a home game.
Yeah, I mean, look how we've looked. And so here we are again.
Yep. Same place we were 4 years ago.
Yes. So my recommendation, no one watched the game. Hold on. What's going on? Am I okay? No. Okay. This is what Gamecock football does to you. Do not watch the game. Instead, use your Saturday wisely by booking a tour with Captain Petey. Captain Petey, please again remind people how they can find you.
MorrisIslandCharter.com. Morris Island Charters on Instagram. MorrisIslandCharters@gmail.com. 843-608-8006. Call me, text me, email me. Look me up. I'm on Facebook as well. You can find me there. Screw football. Let's go find some shark teeth and dolphins.
That's truly the correct answer this weekend, and probably for most of Gamecock football season looking ahead.
Yeah.
But, all that information will be in the show notes as always. So just scroll on down and look at it, and book your tour, and enjoy yourself, and walk into the ocean. So that will do it for this week. We will once again see you next week, hopefully happier, but again, probably not as a result of Gamecock football.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.